Welcome back, guys. Hope you all doing great. And today's in this video, we're gonna see how to integrate the Chat GPT, which is the most popular OpenAI, which is trending in the internet nowadays. And we're gonna integrate that Chat GPT with our React application. So basically, we created a React application which is going to integrate the Chat GPT messenger. You can ask anything, and it's going to answer you back. So we're going to use the text model, which is going to help you to have a conversation with your AI. Okay. So now allow me to explain the application. So over here, you can see we have this backend server, right? We have this backend server, which is taking a separate route to communicate with our AI, and it's using the model, the text model. Okay. So, and we do have this React application. We have this client and the server. So let me show you how exactly it's going to work over here. So this is the nice UI, which is going to take the input over here. And if you click the ask AI, that's going to answer you back. So here I'm just going to say like, let's say, hi there. And let's see what it's saying. Cool. Yes, you can make a career in a sustainable professional management. All right. So now let's ask something like, how are you doing? Let's ask that. I'm doing great. How about you? That's good. So let's ask something else, like tell me a joke. Tell me a joke. Let's see what it's saying. And what did an ocean say to other? What did it say? Let's copy this. Let's paste it here. Nothing. It's just that's fine. Nothing. It just waved. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me ask another question to AI. Let's see what it's saying. What did the fish say when he hit the wall? Guess the answer, guys. What did the fish say when he hit the wall? Let's see. Damn, that's good. When a fish hit a wall, of course, it's going to be a dam. So you are good, AI. Of course, you're good. So this is the one which we're gonna build in this video. I hope you guys are so excited. So let's, without wasting your time, let's jump into the video. All right, guys, the course which you've been waiting for a very long time. This is a full stack food delivery web development 2.0, which is finally uploaded, and the course is completely live right now. So you can able to build your own restaurant application by using ReactJs, Tailwind CSS, Material UI, Firebase, Node.js, and including the Stripe payment gateway, guys. If you scroll down, you can see what exactly the concepts that you're gonna learn and how many concepts that it's been organized in each and every sections. And you can see we also using the Stripe payment gateway. If you expand that, you can see how to configure it, how to get your own custom lineout, how to work with the Stripe webhooks, how to create your own customs, how to push your orders to the files to collections. Basically, this is a full stack food delivery application, and this course will really helps you a lot. So enrollments, it's already happening, and the students have started to purchase this course. And please, if you want to purchase this course, click the link in the description below, and there is a very special offer is going on. So you can use the discount code, and that will directly takes you to this particular page. Once you open the link, this will shows like this. All you have to do is to click continue and start proceeding for the payment. All right, so now let's move on to the concept. All right, everyone, so let's create a new project folder over here. Let me create a new project folder here, and I'm just going to say chat. I'm just going to say just chat GPT AI or something. All right, so let me open this, right click, new folder, and let me bring the Visual Studio Code over here to this screen. So now you can able to see my screen over here. So inside here, what we're going to do is basically we're going to create two different folders. The first one is going to be the client folder for our React app, and the second one is going to be our server. Okay, to work with this, of course, you need to install the Node.js. So please make sure that you have Node.js in your machine. So let me open the terminal and let me navigate to the server. So cd server. So now I'm inside the server folder. here I'm just going to use the yawn. So if you're using npm, just say npm init. If you're using yawn, use yawn init. So here I'm just going to say the server name. Let's say give the server name as OpenAI. Enter. Version same, description, index, everything is going to be same. Enter. So now we have that package.json inside our server. So now here let me clear it, and here I'm just going to install several packages which is really going to helpful for to build this application. So let's say yawn, and I'm going to install the node-mon to trigger our node.js file, and then we need to install the express, and we need to install the course to enable the cross origin, and we need to use the .env to load the environment variables, and we need to install the OpenAI to integrate the ChatGPT with our server, backend server. So node-mon express course.env, enter. So oh my bad, I missed the keyword. So here you need to add the add keyword, add yawn add node-mon express course.env OpenAI. So now here we go, we have all the information. So let's create a new file inside the server called index.js. Okay, so then what we need to do here, I'm just going to add a scripts, and here I'm just going to say start script. Whenever whenever I run a command called yawn start, it's need to trigger this command called node-mon index.js. It should trigger this command. Okay, so whenever I say yawn start, this command will be triggered so that the index.js will be executed. All right, so now what we need to do over here is, so let me keep everything as simple, small letter. I think it's not necessary. Then why it's showing me string does not match with the pattern? All right, just ignore it. So here I'm just going to say clear, and I'm just going to say console.log over here, console.log, and I'm just going to say hi, and here I'm just going to say yawn start. Whenever I'm saying yawn start, it's triggering node-mon index.js, and it's being triggered, and you can see we are getting the statement hi. So let me stop this, and here now what we need to do, let's add the necessary things. So first we need to create the express app. So express equals require express, all right, semicolon. Then what we need to do, we need to get the course. So const course equals require course. After this, we need to get the configurations, informations, and everything from the OpenAI. So const equals require from OpenAI. So from here we're going to get that information. So basically what we're going to do is, so this is going to collect all the necessary informations from the OpenAI. So but we need only two different objects. One is the configuration, and the another one is the OpenAI APIs to connect our OpenAI API. Then I'm just going to create the configuration over here. Configuration, make sure this is the capital letter C, and here it's small letter c, don't confuse it, equals new configuration, open the bracket, open the object, and here we're going to supply our API key, colon, here we need to supply our API key. So let me show you how to get this API key and at the end. So we need to get that API key. Then we need to create const open API is equals new open API, this one, new OpenAI API, and will supply our configuration key inside to this open API. So that will be connected with our OpenAI. So then what we need to do, I need to create an app, const app is equals express. Then I need to say to use the JSON data format. So app dot use express dot JSON, all right. So then what we need to do, we need to use this course also, because of course we need to enable the cross origin. So otherwise it will not allow you to connect your server with the our React application. So app.use use course, open the object, and let's say origin is going to be true. Save the changes. So now everything is done. Then what we need to do, of course, I'm just going to create a home route. So app.get slash, and we're gonna get the request comma response, and let's say return response dot send hello world. All right, so now we need to listen it to a specific port. So let's say const port is equals to, let's keep it as 8080. Okay, then I'm just going to say app.listen. So listen to this port. If it is listening to this port, I'm just going to say console.log listening to port 8080. Okay, either listen to this, or you can say simply like process.env.port. In case in future, if you're going to have any specific port number inside your environment variable, this will also do that work. All right, so now let's trigger this and let's see. You should get the messages listening to the port 8080. So let me open a browser. Let me bring a browser over here. Bring it over here. All right, so now I'm just going to say local host colon 8080, enter. And now you can see we're having that hello world. Let me keep it this one in the right side, right, and this one over here. So let me reduce the size a bit so that you can see this completely bigger. Fine. So now the server is up and running. So now what we need to do, we need to go ahead and get the API key. So let me make it bigger, and let me go to a new tab and search for openai.com. If you search for openai.com, that will take you to this official OpenAI over here. Okay, so not this one. Search for OpenAI, and there you can find the ChatGPT. So click that, and this is, you can go through how exactly the ChatGPT everything is working and everything using this documentation and everything. If you click the API, and that will take you to the OpenAI API particular page. Okay, so here what you need to do, you need to create an account. So click sign up, and that will take you to sign up. So continue with your Gmail or create your email address. In this case, I do have an account over here, but I'm going to use this one, so I'll just use this. So that will load it. So give your name and everything, and type your organization name. I'm just giving YouTube, so click continue. So type your mobile number and verify your mobile number over here. In this case, I'm just going to give 63820488992. All right, so if I click yes, send a code via. All right, so now I do get that code to my WhatsApp number, to my business WhatsApp number right over here. Let's say 977. Cool. So continue. So here in this case, you can choose what exactly you're gonna do. I'm building a product or a feature. I'm exploring it for personal use. I'm conducting a research. So I'm just going to say I'm exploring it for my personal use. All right. So now you can see we are inside our OpenAI developers account. So now here, what you need to do, you need to get your API key. So if you want to go through the examples and everything, click the examples. You can see there are lots of examples, like Python to natural language, and convert to anything to SQL queries, text to commands, something like that. So you have a lot of examples. If you click anything, you can see how to do all those things. See what is the model that you need to use, and what is the keyword that you need to send it, and what is the maximum token that you can do, like you can define all those these kinds of informations. So if you change this to Node.js and see, this is how you need to integrate the this particular model with your server backend server API. Okay, that's the thing which exactly we're going to do right now. Okay, so we're going to use this exact same model to build this text to command. Basically we're going to use this text to command. Okay, so then let's go back and go to the documentation, where you can able to read the complete guide related to the models. What are the models that you have, how to work with each and every model, and what model is used for what kind of purpose, and what is the maximum token that it can use. So you can go through this complete informations inside their documentation. So to create an API key, go to this and use your view API keys. Here you need to create your secret key. So create it, copy it, click OK. So now the API key is generated and it's copied. Let me bring it to right side and let me pin it over here. So now what I need to do, I need to create a new environment variable .env, and here I'm just going to say OpenAI underscore secret underscore key equals, paste it, save the changes, close it, stop the server, and let's go here and load the .env configuration. Require .env and then call the config method. Save the changes. Now the .env will be configured. So now we are done with the OpenAI and all those things. So next, what we need to do, we need to create a route to work with that. So what I need to do is, all I have to do is to create a route for that. So I'm just going to say app.post method, which is going to be the post method. If you're not sure about what exactly these things, like what you can do is you can go to the examples, choose the text to command, change this Node.js over here. So this is how we need to create that response and everything. Okay, that's exactly what we're gonna do over here. So now what you can do is, basically you can simply copy this and you can use it inside your our Node.js and everything. So here I need to change this, instead of your API key, I'm going to supply process.env env4, copy this and paste it over there, save the changes. So then what we need to do, all we have to do is to go to this post method, open it, and I'm just going to say the route is going to be chat, and this function is going to be asynchronous function. Okay, and request comma response equals, open it. Inside here I'm going to get this prompt object. We're going to get this prompt object. So const prompt, let's copy that, copy it, paste it, prompt is equals, it's coming from the request.body. This is the JSON object that we are sending through it from the front end. Okay, we're going to send it through the front end, and I'm just going to say try, use the try and catch over here. Okay, so in case if there is any error, I'm just going to say console.log that error. If there is no error, of course I'm going to get that, use that. So we can say const response equals, we're going to use this await OpenAI dot create completion. So let's say await OpenAI dot create completion, and inside here we need to supply the objects and everything. So model, what exact model that we're going to use, we're going to use this model, copy it, paste it. Then what is the object that, what is the thing, that prompt that you're looking for, the prompt that I'm looking for, which is exactly which I have in my prompt object over there. So you can define what is the maximum tokens that you want and when you need to stop it and all those things. In this case I'm not going to use any of this. Otherwise, if you can simply copy this, you can simply copy it and you can simply paste it over here. For me in this case this is enough. So right after here I'm just going to say if you have that response object, so return response dot send, we'll get that response over here, response object response In that response, you will get the data. Okay, data. You will get that complete data. So we need to get that data. Then once the data you have, inside the data you have this choices object. Choices. You will get the choices of 0. Otherwise, if you simply return the response, we can understand what exactly what exact object that we are getting back. So let me open the Postman tool to verify it. Let me open the Postman. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Just a moment. Here we go. So let me start my server, yarn start. And here we have that localhost 8080 chat over here. So if I go to the body tag and I have to change to JSON format, change this to over here to JSON text format, choose the raw data type, and we are sending the prompt, hello, how are you doing today? Okay, this is the prompt that we are sending. And if I click send, and we are getting an error, I think so, because that's the place where we are failed status 429. We are getting an error over here. Why? Hmm. So let's make sure whether we are getting the prompt first. So let me comment this, and I'm just going to say return response dot send the prompt object. If I click this, and we are getting that prompt object, so no issues. So that is working. And here I'm just going to say this, instead of this we can say return response dot send dynamic string literals error colon, let's say what exactly the error is, error dot message or anything, say the changes. And now if I click this, request file with status code 429, why we are getting that error? 429 error. Did we miss something? Nope, I don't think so. I think OpenAI API, that's the thing. Acquire OpenAI .env, it's loaded. Let's stop the server. Let's make sure one more time. On start. Okay, it's triggered. And now let's check it one more time. Still we are getting the same. Try chat. Text David. Okay, it's fine. Let me change this to completion. Let me make sure run it. So object model name, everything is correct, but why we are getting an issue? All right, so let's search this issue, why exactly we are getting. And if I search this, you can see it's showing us basically it's too many requests, there is no response. It's not technically an error, it's a response from your server. That means there is no client application, not enough resource. You can see not enough resource to accept it at this time. So it's not a mistake from our coding side, it's a mistake from the API server itself. So let me try with the different API key. Okay, stop it. Let me try this now. Look at that. So maybe the reason with that API key which I generated, which is currently right now, it's not giving that, it's not having any available resources for that right now. So I'm using the API key which I already have in my hand, which I used to create it for the practice purpose. Okay. So don't worry, the coding, everything what we returned, everything is working fine. The issue is not like the API key which we created right now. It's showing there is not enough resource to process that request. That's the reason. That's the issue. Like that's the 429 response error. So this is not our error. Basically, it's not an error. It's just a request raised by your server that it doesn't have any resource to accept at this time. Okay, so I changed the API key, and now we are getting the result what we are supposed to do. So here we are asking how we are doing today, and it's showing the answer as I'm doing great. How about you? So it's working fine. So since our server is ready, now let's move on to our front end. So let me stop this and let me go here and click the client. Inside the client we don't have anything, so I'm just going to create a new tab in the terminal and see the client, clear it, and I'm going to say yarn create react app / inside this folder. I'm going to create that React application, enter. So now I don't need this Postman. I can close the Postman. All right. So then let me close this one also. So server is working fine. Let's keep this, and this also. Let it fine. So the React app is basically downloading. So let's wait until it's downloading. All right then. So my React application is successfully created, and if I go here, you can see inside the source folder we have everything. So let's start this and make sure everything is working fine. On start. So that's starting up our server, and it's loading, and here we go. So we have our React app, which is working absolutely fine. Let me start the server and let me keep it over our server up and running. Okay, so let me close this. I don't need to worry about this anymore. Close this, and let me minimize the server. Okay, so here I don't need this app.css. Delete it, app.css, and I don't need app.test.js and logo.svg. We don't need it. Report web vitals setup inside the index.js. Let's clear this. And let me go to the app.js, and I'll just delete everything, and I'm going to say RAFC React export functional concept React functional component export. All right, so now we have our app over here. So let me go to the index.css. okay, so inside the index.css we're gonna make some customizations for our own. So I'm just going to say at the top, I'm just going to say star margin 0 and padding 0 and box sizing border box. All right, save the changes, and I'm just going to delete this, and I'm going to keep everything display flex, align items center, and justify content center. All right, and then I'm going to keep the background color as hash 161D2F. Save the changes, and this is the background color we're going to use. And now you can see, you can see the app text over there. All right, so then what we're going to do, let me get back to the app.js. We'll go here, app.js, and inside this app.js basically we're going to create a container. This is going to be have the class called container. So let me copy the styles which I written for the container, so we don't need to waste the time over writing this. So now everything will be in the center of the screen. Cool. Then what we need to do inside this container, I'm just going to create one more division that is going to be our box division. So box. So let me copy these styles from the box. copy, and let me paste it over here. So please pause the video and then write the styles, save the changes, and now you can see we have a nice box over there. So inside this box, now what we're going to do, we're going to have that search box section. So inside this box, I'm just going to say search box. All right, save the changes, and now let me copy the styles for the search box. So let me copy this style and let me put it over here, and basically which is going to be the same for our content box as well. So let me keep it as it is. Fine. Inside this, I'm just going to bring a two important option, which is our input field. That is the input field, and the placeholder is going to be ask anything to AI. All right, so then here we're going to bring one more button, which is going to be ask AI. Save the changes like that. Then what we need to do, we need to write the styles for the input and the button as well. So let me bring those styles for that for the input and for the button. Let me bring it and paste it over here. We have the styles for the button as well as, and we have the styles for our input. Save the changes, and now it looks like this. All right, so then what we need to do, still we do have some more styles for the button. So if the button is active state, if the button is active, whenever I'm clicking, if the active, now you can see that wobble effect, so you can get that over here. So then now what we need to do is, I need to create the content box. So right after the search box division, I need to bring that content box, which is exactly this one. Copy this and paste it. Inside here, I'm just going to have a paragraph, and I'm going to say hi. All right, so now you can see it looks like that. So then what we need to do, let's go here and let's copy the styles for our content box, and I paste it inside. Copy it right after here and paste it. So I did added some animations and everything. Save the changes, and now you can see that's the animation which we did. So now we have the UI in our hand. So let's go ahead and import the Axios. So let me create one more, and let me go to the CG client, and I'm just going to say on add Axios. Axios is a package which helps you to call the API endpoints from the front end. So that's why we are installing that package Axios. So here I'm going to create two different states. Use state snippets. One is the prompt. So basically the prompt is, it's going to be an empty string initially. All right, and we're going to get one more, use state snippets. That is our response. Initially it's going to be null. So this division needs to be displayed only if I have the response object in our hand. So let's condition render it, and instead of hi, I'm going to display the response over here. So response, say the changes. So this will not be displayed. So whenever I'm clicking this button, I'm just going to say on click, I'm going to handle this click event. So handle click, copy it, and right after here, I'm going to create that method. So const handle click equals an arrow function, and this function, of course, it should be an asynchronous function because it's need to wait until the AI should process that the questions and answers and everything. All right, so now what we need to do, I need to call that the backend API which we have created, await Axios. So we need to import the Axios first. So import Axios from Axios. Save the changes, and here now what we need to do, we need to call that await Axios.post, because we created the post method, and I need to supply the complete URL. So http://localhost:8080/chat. That's the URL, and I'm going to pass that prompt state. Basically it's a prompt state, and we need to update that state whenever this value is getting updated. So on change, I'm going to get that event, and I'm going to set the prompt by getting the target value. Come on. Get the prompt and e dot target dot value, and the value it's going to be, and we need to display the value. The value it's going to be the prompt. So on change we are getting the value. Whenever we are getting the value, we are updating the state. So and then at the same time we are updating the value also. So if I type something, we should be able to see over here, and this value will automatically updated in this particular state. All right, so now we have that, it's working fine. So we have this prompt object as well over here. Okay, so once this is done, what I need to do is that will return a promise. We need to get that response, open it, then I need to set this response to our response state. So the response dot data, we'll get the data, then we'll set it. And I'm just going to make sure while doing this, if I'm getting any error, so dot catch, if I'm getting any error, then I need to do console.log that error, save the changes. All right, so I hope everything will work fine right now. We did everything. So here, let's say, hi, how are you doing? Hit the enter, and here we go. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. How about you? So let's ask, tell us a joke. Let us ask something else. If I click ask AI, and it's showing what did ocean say to another ocean. Of course it says simply wave the hat. All right, so it's working fine. The AI, the ChatGPT, which is successfully integrated with our React application. So I hope you guys are enjoyed, and this is how you need to integrate the ChatGPT and the OpenAI with your React application. So if you have any questions or any issues, and please drop the questions in the comment section, so I will help you out throughout this video. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.